Hey, everybody, it's Stan Shields here. We're back again for a special broadcast for Network Las Vegas. If you're not familiar with Network Las Vegas, we're a networking organization that's right here in the Las Vegas area. However, we do have some members and others who join us who are from out of state and so forth. But primarily we are based here in Las Vegas, but we may have members that come from other areas. So we appreciate you watching and joining us whenever you're watching, from wherever you're watching, from whatever time zone you might be watching at whatever time of the day. So anyway, thanks for joining us. We appreciate you being here. Be sure to like, follow, or subscribe. So typically you will see our broadcasts either on YouTube, Facebook, and or LinkedIn. Okay. And so we would love for you to make sure that you follow us, subscribe, like, whatever the case may be for whatever the platform it is that you're on. Now, today's broadcast, I said, was a special broadcast. So we have some special guests with us today that will help us to highlight our next upcoming meeting. And so with us, we have Yolanda and Julie, who are from Healing Hearts Movement. Did I get that right? Healing Hearts Movement, right?
Yes, you did.
Okay, perfect. Good. Because I've actually been messing up the name. I don't know why I keep wanting to say something else. But anyway, so Healing Hearts, I had to keep writing it down to make sure I didn't get that wrong this time around. So let's do maybe a little, not really, I don't want to call it a Q&A or whatever, but let's have a little discussion about Healing Hearts. And so Yolanda, let's maybe start with you. Tell us a little bit about what motivated you as the founder to come up with this Healing Hearts nonprofit. What's the motivation behind it?
Well, first of all, Stan, let me thank you for taking the time to interview us and letting us share our story and our mission. Healing Hearts was created because back in my days when I was growing up, there was a lot of gang activity and I was involved in a lot of it. And because of being involved in it, there was a lot of mishaps that were going on and a lot of guilt that I had in my heart because of decisions I had made. In 1989, my boyfriend was killed due to gang violence. And being the girlfriend of the gang of the leader, or the leader of the gang, I'm sorry, I had to give the okay for the gang to go retaliate. Because I did not give the okay to retaliate, 14 people died. And I had to live with that guilt. When I moved here to Vegas, I had to live in North Las Vegas, and I noticed that there was a lot of gang violence in that area. And we were able to meet with some children or some of the kids from J.D. Smith due to my daughters going to that school and finding out that there was a club of cutting. And it was also due to emotions and guilt that these young ladies were holding in their heart. So we decided we wanted to have a safe place that people can open up, and just like the name of the nonprofit, they can heal their hearts. And sometimes when we're helping others heal their heart, it helps us heal our own.
Wow. That is an incredible story. Holy moly. So thank you for sharing that. And so now, when did you form Healing Hearts? How long has this organization been around?
It's been around since 2017.
Okay.
We started that with it's so beautiful, Stan, because we started with such a small group. It was 4 of us that really wanted to start this, and we started getting more volunteers once we started doing our feeding. And right now, how many volunteers do we have, sis?
I think we hit around 20.
And the beautiful thing is, it's not only, we're talking about 20 adults, 20 family members, but we have a lot of our youth, their children and the youth that we work with Healing Hearts that come out because it's necessary. It's necessary that we teach our youth how important it is to give back. Because, Stan, sometimes when we go out and we give money to the homeless, that beautiful feeling you get when you give somebody that $1 and you're walking away? That's how we should always feel. Mm-hmm. So we need to show the youth right now, since they're young, that there's so much pleasure in giving, actually more than receiving, because when you're giving, you're also receiving that beautiful feeling of being able to help the neighbor.
Okay. So what is the mission? What is it that you do with Healing Hearts?
Well, what we do is we have a curriculum called Your Story Matters. Mm-hmm. And it's acknowledging your story, accepting the good, the bad, and the ugly, and releasing what no longer serves you. So we were able to work with kids at JD Smith, and we were going through the curriculum. So it basically helps people understand their story and know that everything that happens to you has a purpose. And that purpose is sometimes your story is going to be the roadmap for others to be able to get up and do what they need to do as their purpose. So when we go and we do our community feedings, we don't just feed their tummies, Stan. We really aspire to feed their soul with uplifting and empowering words so we can bring back the faith.
Wow. Okay. And so then, and I think we're going to have Julie talk a little bit later about when another one of your events are coming up. But so these feedings that's really the primary, is that the primary activity that brings people together?
Yes. So we go and we try to work with the youth and with families, and we can help them out with their family situations and let them understand how important it is, for the power of forgiveness and giving back. But we had to make sure we had a mission and we had something that they can work at. So that's where the feedings come in. And Julie will talk more about that, but that it gives them a way to really get together and really serve as a family and as individuals, and learn about the story of our homeless community and what got them there, and how we can start looking at our blessings. And sometimes as youth, we don't really look at what we have. We look at what we don't have. So taking the families there, and people as well as youth, it helps them understand the blessings that they have, having a home and being able to have food on their table whenever they want.
And this is then for youth, but it's for the family. It's for everyone, or is there a specific target age, or who are you looking for?
We call it a community potluck stand because it's for the community. We start serving with the children because that's how we usually get into the families. But we notice that we just can't talk to the kids because a lot of the situations that they have going on, it pillars, or it has to start from the family. So the family, mom and dad are the pillars, or just maybe sometimes just mom. So we start with the kids and then we move into the families. So it can be some type of a family project that they're doing to come and feed.
Okay. So what is it that makes Healing Hearts different than some of the other organizations out here that are, feeding the homeless or any of that?
Well, I think that we're really different because we're passionate about helping them and reminding them that they too have a purpose and a story. So we don't only feed their tummies. We literally sit with them, talk with them, interview them. We've gotten them jobs. I'll give you, if I may, I want to share a quick story with you of what we did for them. We had a gentleman that in this feeding, when we were doing prayer, because we always pray before we start to eat, I noticed that he walked away and he came back for water. So I asked him, what was the reason that he walked away? Did he not believe in God? And he said he didn't, because if God was there, he wouldn't be going through everything he was going through. He explained to me that he had been homeless for 3 weeks. He came to do a job. Family that he didn't know was supposed to pick him up from the bus never did. So he lost his phone and was homeless for all this time. He had a place in Northern California, but couldn't get there. So we had a beautiful little angel that was there with us. And she ended up buying his bus pass. And as he was walking away, I don't know if something just trying to startle him, but he came back and we were able to pray with him. So what we do is we also feed the soul. That's, I think, what makes us different, is we don't just feed them and forget them. We keep contact with them and we encourage them and we become their number one cheerleaders.
Wow, that's a great story. So thanks for sharing that story. Interesting. And so now with every organization that is a community-based organization where you are a charity of some kind, organizations always need help. How is it that the community can support you?
Sis, can you answer that?
Yes.
Please.
Thanks. Let me just add a little bit more about the community potlucks, because what it makes it different for us is the community. They know we're coming every first Sunday of each month, rain, hot, 120 degrees or snow, we're going to be there. So they expect us. And what is beautiful about this is that they clean the pavilion. I mean, it's swept away. So we come and we lay out the tablecloths for them. It's like you and I are having a birthday party. That's how we treat this community potluck. So we set up. Everybody brings their food that they cook at home, and we set up a line. And sometimes we serve them, and they love when we serve them. But sometimes they cannot eat everything that we bring. So we have decided to do that. They go through the line, and then we help them with the plates. And we also, if they want to take more for later on, we always have a to-go container so they can take the food with them. And we put ourselves in their shoes. And we also need shoes because some of them don't have.
Some of them don't have shoes.
We put ourselves in their situation to see how we can help them. So it is a lot of them, they just need a little attention. They just need to be seen, because a lot of times, as you have experienced, that you are driving around and you see somebody with a sign that said that I'm hungry, please help me. You don't see them. You see them, but you don't see them. Here we actually sit down and talk with them and pray with them and find out what is it that they need, how they got there, and how can they get out of there. And we do the best we can to connect them with other nonprofit organizations or with other agencies to help them get out of the situation they are. And we're partnering with a couple of nonprofit organizations that they are blessing us. They're blessing our community, they're blessing our homeless people, that when they find an apartment, that we have this gentleman who had a list of, he had a book with all the items he had. I think he had like 5 pages full of items that he needed. So first he came the month before, and he was homeless. The second time he came back, he already had an apartment, and he was so proud of his apartment. So he showed us a video of his apartment, but it's empty, right? Imagine all he wanted to do is find an apartment so he doesn't sleep on the streets. So when he told us that, we pray about it, and we reach out to our sources, and thank God we have another nonprofit organization called Straight from the Streets. And Straight from the Streets, it was able to furnish his apartment, completely furnish his apartment. And we also have other partners, the junk loggers, who allow us to go in and take whatever the person needs for their home for free. So we're blessed to have that type of community. So again, what makes us different is that we care. That's what it is. And all the volunteers who come and they stay with us, because a lot of times when you go and volunteer somewhere, you go for a day or maybe 2 or 3 sessions and then you're gone. The people that we are attracting are people like us, people who care and want to do better, want to do more for our community. So that's what makes us different. So what was your question?
I don't know, but I want to go back to something that you said that was that really hit home, and that is, you're right. You might see people holding a sign that says "I'm hungry" or "Can you help" or whatever, and people give $1 or $2 or whatever, $5, or they give them some money, but. And there's the physical presence that's there, but you're right. You don't know their story. You don't really know anything about this person. And quite often, and maybe too often, people make judgments about people as to whether they should be out there on that corner or whatever. And people will yell and say mean things like, go get a job or whatever. But you don't really know the story behind the person. So,
Stan, I just to share something really quick with you, and this is why I believe that if we can ask the community to do anything, it's just to at least say hello and at least ask, how are you doing? Because and a smile says everything. We had a lady by the name of Mary. I don't know if she's still working at UMC, because this happened about 2018. She was looking through our trash can, and when I talked to her, she explained to me she was a survivor from Katrina. So what they did is FEMA brought her to Vegas, gave her a trailer, but nothing else. Wow. So I invite her in my home, and I start talking to her, and I ask her, why was she drinking so early? It was like 7:30 in the morning. And she explained to me, she said, Yoli, if you would have had your life go sideways like mine did, you'd be drinking too. She said, I had to see my baby floating in the water and my mom was stuck underneath the car. So she's traumatized.
Right.
So I asked her, what was she doing when she was in Louisiana? And she was a nurse.
Mm.
So I said, you have a lot of compassion. Why aren't you doing that? She says, I don't have my ID. I don't have my credentials. I don't have my birth certificate. It only took $45 to get that woman to work at UMC Hospital.
Wow.
So it's little things like that. We have plenty of those stories.
Wow.
And I always tell people, I don't say them because I want to pat myself in the back. I say them because we can change somebody's life with just a conversation, with just telling them, I'm here to support you and tell you, you got this. And that's why it's so important that we just don't feed them, that we just don't, God bless them, that we sit there and we really find out, because it's our responsibility and it's our due diligence to do this. But we've forgotten that agape love that was preached to us and taught to us. And that's what we're trying to do, is bring it back.
Wow. That is phenomenal. Beautiful stories. Wow. The you've got an event, there's a couple of events, not a couple of events. You've got an event that you do every Sunday. So Julie, why don't you tell us a little bit about what's coming up? I guess it's Sunday, December 5th, but then we'll talk about what the organization needs, and we'll kind of wrap up with the event that our organization is going to be hosting, and hopefully both of you will be able to be there, because it'd be great for people to get to meet you and talk with you more, learn more about you. But you've got an event coming up in December, so tell us a little bit about that.
We would like to invite the community to come as a family, come together and help us. If you have that compassion, that if you need to heal yourself, come and help us to serve our homeless community. And bring your own dish. It doesn't have to be a big dish. You can, everybody brings something to feed them. And with everything that we have, if we have more, people will take them with them. So I invite you to, we're looking for volunteers who really, really want to serve our community. That's one of the things that we would like. And please bring, like I said, bring food, bring drinks, bring water, bring snacks, whatever you want to bring, they are welcome. Because when we come in community and we break bread with them, they love our attention. Another thing that we would like, so this is every Sunday, every first Sunday of each month. Like I say, rain, shine, or snow, we're gonna be there. And please let us know you come in so we can give you the instructions how to get to the park. You actually come to JC Park through the Easter entrance, and you will find us on the first pavilion right by the children playground. So that's the one thing that we need. Also, this November, we distributed 60 sleeping bags. So with that, what the community, every time that we bring something to the potluck, is because one or a couple of the people ask us for different items. So we have hygiene items. We need hygiene items. So imagine, when was the last time that you couldn't sleep because you were so cold? So we have, I know. So we're looking for volunteers and donors and supporters. As simple as $35, it will buy a sleeping bag and a tent. And as simple as $25, it will buy a blanket, the gloves, the scarf, the earmuffs, hand and feet and body warmers. And also we're looking for people who can donate coats, because it's getting cold. I mean, during the day it's nice, but at night it's cold. Jackets, sweaters, socks, clean underwear, new underwear. Everything else can be gently used and clean, but please, the underwear, imagine if somebody will gift you a used underwear, will you wear it? I mean, and some people do. Believe me, when they are there, if you see the need they have, it is unbelievable. And it's just as simple as let us contact us, email us, and we'll get in touch with you. We don't have a facility, we don't have an office, so we work from our home, and that's why we don't have an address on our website. So contact us via email, and we'll be able to reach out to you, and one of our many volunteers will be able to swing by and pick up the donations.
Okay.
And
another
thing, if I can say something really quick. Oh, go ahead.
Yes. No, I was going to say.
I just wanted to.
Go ahead.
I just wanted to mention really quick that she's explaining the type of people that we're looking for, and we ask for families because we need to bring back that agape love. And the only way that we're going to bring back that agape love, that unconditional, unjudgmental love, is by serving, by teaching our youth since they're young to serve. It's beautiful to see 5-year-old, 7-year-old kids passing out napkins or apples, something, whatever they can do. And it makes them so happy. So it's so important that if, we invite everybody to come down, but if you have a family, we want to see everyone. That way we start young. We have now a young lady that teaches yoga while we're there. So she's teaching the kids. And of course, if the homeless want to come in, then they join. So it's different because of that reason. Go ahead, sis. I just wanted to add.
Thank you, sis. And also imagine with $15, $15 will help us feed and bring the to-go plates, the napkins, and everything else that we need to buy in order to serve our community. It's so $15 a month will be a great donation that they can do. They can go to our website, which is healingheartsmovement.com. We're in the process of changing the website, but you can still go there or send us an email, and we'll direct you to how you can send us your donations. Another thing that I would like to, you were asking how the community is going to help us. Besides the volunteers, we're looking for professionals that they can help us better the background of the nonprofit organization. At the end of the day, this is run like a business, and we need professionals, pro bono of professionals, because as you might think, you might know, we are doing this from our own pockets. All the volunteers purchase their items, and they bring in and donate them. So we're looking for professional, either a CPA and a grant writer. Those are the ones that we need desperately. If you are out there and you are a CPA, that you can help us to keep our taxes and then the grant writer to help us obtain some grants. Before we go, Sam, I want to thank you. Thank you for give us this opportunity to present Healing Hearts to our community. But also, I want to thank. We are part of a all commercial network group, and they are sponsoring us. They're going to have an upcoming golf tournament fundraiser in April, and some of the proceeds that they're going to raise, they're going to donate it to Healing Hearts. So I want to acknowledge them for their donations. And also we have a gentleman by the name of Nick Moody. Nick Moody reached out to us, and he's been taking pictures on every session that we have, on every potluck, and he is able to capture the soul of the event. He's able to capture with his images. You can feel what people feel while we're there. Yeah. So I think it's phenomenal. So Nick Moody, thank you very much for all your time. And also asking and begging and talking to people. Like I mentioned before, Stan, we are in the process of getting a new website. And I want to thank Damien and Fabrice with We Fix Brands, because they are donating their time to create a new website and make it to look the way that we want it. So, and of course, we want to thank you, Stan, and Network Las Vegas for this opportunity.
And for thinking of us for the charity, for the donations, because it really means a lot to us to know that there's a group of people that are willing to help out in our mission.
Yep.
Well, you are certainly welcome, and we have to give all of that credit to Robin, who is really doing all the work behind setting up our events, and it was her brainchild that will find an organization in the city that we can support every month. And so that's where all of that really came from. So it's fantastic though. But
thank you, Robin, if you watch this.
Yeah, she watches it. Yeah, she'll see it later on. But I really hope both of you are able to come to the event on November 30th. And so that event, people can find it on networklasvegas.com. They just go to networklasvegas.com. You'll see the events that we have. It'll be November 30th. It's the monthly social networking event for the organization. And so we'll have these two lovely ladies there. They'll be there, and they'll be sharing more of their stories and more of the love that they offer with what they're doing. So I applaud both of you that the work that you're doing is phenomenal, and wishing you the best with all of it. But let's see, any final words before we end this broadcast?
I'd just like to tell everybody to please take a moment when you're in a red light and you see somebody asking for money. If you don't have the money, that's okay. Give them a smile. It means a lot to them. Talking to our homeless community, they feel acknowledged when you at least say good morning, when you say hello to them, and you do something to their heart when you do that, and you're doing something to yours at the same time. So it's very important that we no longer ignore them. We have to be there as well for them, because we're all connected. And the moment that we realize that, we'll be able to raise vibration the way we need to.
Mm-hmm. Great words. Love that. The acknowledgement, even if you don't have money that you can give, or if you can give them a bottle of water, that's, something that just, helps them, lets them know that you care, that people care. That's also another one of those great gestures that we could potentially do. Right. So, all right. Once again, thank you. Go ahead.
Can I just say something just before we go? Our ultimate goal, this is our big dream that we know is going to come one of these days, and we keep praying for that. Our ultimate goal is to create a tiny community, a tiny home community. It's going to be a center where we're going to have tiny homes. And so we're looking for land, and we're looking for partners, and we're looking for everybody to make this dream to come through. So this tiny home community will be around a community center. In that community center, we're going to provide skills, training skills. So these people will be able to learn something. In 6 months, they're going to come. We're going to feed them. We're going to take care of they don't have to pay for anything, because we're going to have a lot of volunteers, donors, and supporters who's going to help us with this dream. And once that they finish their training of those 6 months, then they will move on, and we'll bring another set of people. Also, what our dream is while we're there, the people are going to be able to, we're going to be raising our own fruit and vegetables, so people will learn how to do that as well, and they don't have to depend on everybody else to bring items to them. So that's our biggest goal, is the tiny home community with a center, an education center, a trade skill
academy
center.
Mm-hmm.
That's an amazing idea, and that's an amazing concept. I love that whole tiny home concept anyway, right? That because
Yes.
it just, in a lot of ways, it kind of makes sense. Everybody's so used to feeling like they need big and giant
So much,
and all of that,
yeah.
right? But where we really don't need that much.
No.
Where we're very simple. We just need to start learning how to simplify our life and live what we need, and live off of the land, because it was made for us to live off of it. So once we know how to treat it and connect this academy or this center, we want to do it. We want to show them everything from healing modalities to how to be a CPA, everything, different structures so they can grow.
Perfect. That is fantastic. All right. Thank you again, ladies. That wraps up our broadcast for today. So ladies, hold on. Don't go anywhere just yet. All right. And everybody else, will see you next time. So remember, go to networklasvegas.com to get more information about the events that are coming up, including the one on November 30th. And don't forget to like, subscribe, and follow. We'll see you next time.